In the year 2015, two men, Derek Chappell and Victor Frost, began 31 Days of Terminator, wherein they watched the 1984 classic The Terminator every day for a month. This is their story.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Victor. How's the last week treated you?
And that basically sums it up.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, you like we were kind of talking about before we started this. You kind of got into a project without thinking it fully, without thinking through it kind of fully, huh?
Yeah, I just posted that idly, like, this is a thing I'm thinking about. I think much of the blame can be laid on you for
excuse me.
in this endeavor.
Excuse me, princess. Jeez.
Well, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. There's a lot of blame to go around.
What do we, so
forum.
Oh, God. So, I don't know. Did you get your Terminator in for the day?
I did.
I have not yet. So you have watched the movie 7 times. I have watched it 6 times. I'm going to watch it after we're done here. Thoughts?
So I had like this weird fear on like the second day on my second watch. Like, oh God, maybe I picked the wrong movie for this because maybe there's not a lot here. Like,
yeah.
And then, but as I kept watching it more, I'm like, no, wait, it's a James Cameron film. There's a ton here. It's just like a lot of it was kind of so surface oriented, like super in your face stuff, because James Cameron doesn't know what subtlety is, that I actually kind of weirdly overlooked it. Like as it was just too well, like that thing with the punks. I didn't with fuck you, asshole. I didn't realize that until like the 5th watch.
I was holding off on writing about that because I thought it was so obvious, because it's like right there in your face. I cannot believe you only like just noticed that.
I don't know, but it does ruin the Terminator canon for Terminator 2. He's been learning the whole time.
Of course he's been learning the whole time.
His chip isn't such a read-only. That's bullshit.
So I want to take a minute and make a little shout out to our mutual friend Luke Burridge.
Oh yes,
who has been very very kindly putting in his 2.5 cents, because he does review science fiction on the reg. Not something either of us do. I mean, unless you count Steven Universe science fiction, which I don't think it is. I think it's more fantasy. Really. But he has been he's been putting in his 2 cents basically this entire time with his commentary on our commentary. Which has been interesting. And he seems to have put up another one. Oh yeah, Derek's clicking to it too. Anyway, so
he didn't like. I noticed that he did not like the Occam Razor song, or Occam Laser rather. Which just sort of we can disregard his reviews for his taste.
I haven't listened to the song because I so don't care. I mean, it is near impossible for me to care any less about that song. I just he does also kind of get the number wrong about the He says he was talking about my post about discussing the humanity of the Terminator. He calls it the T-1000.
I believe he's done that more than once. He's called it a whole bunch of different things.
Well, what we should note is that this is a Terminator T-108. It is the Terminator 108. It's a Terminator 800 series number 108.
Yes.
So that should be of note, which is something.
Actually, I believe it is a Cyberdyne System Model 101 T800 series.
You're probably right. I really, really stopped caring. I feel like we were talking about at the beginning of this how we were going to watch it, and eventually John Connor's serial number is going to get ingrained into our brains. But there are so many moments. See,
DN386 DN38416.
Okay, so it's very apparent that the two of us are experiencing this movie in very different ways, as opposed to being more and more interested in this, finding all the hidden nuance and stuff and all that jazz. I have grown continuously and at a very steady rate less and less interested in this movie. I have stopped. I will not see. You know what I want right now? There is, at this point already, we are a week in, and at this point, there is nothing I would like more than to watch Terminator 2.
So
just move along in the storyline. You know,
what I've been doing is that, like, weirdly enough, since I started this, I've watched more movies. Because I'll watch Terminator and I need a palate cleanser. Like, so while I'm writing my post for the day or whatever, I'm watching a movie I've never watched before.
See, so, I'm doing a similar thing. I have just today and yesterday I've watched like 8 episodes, the first 8 episodes of The Office, which I have never watched before. And I thought it was kind of stupid, and I didn't really, think it was all that good. But at this point, I'm watching it, and I'm like, "Yep, this is human stuff right here.
No cyborgs.
No cyborgs. Dwight, I question just a little bit, but there are humans here, and I'm okay with this. I am really concerned. So I just want to bring up something that I think that you and I kind of went back and had our own little half back and forth about it through our Tumblr posts. We watched this movie in 2 very different ways.
Yeah, I think that is definitely true. Though, I mean, not the most different. I haven't managed to get the lowest fidelity version of it possible to match your watching it with the audio track and frame stepping. I can't. So I've transitioned from watching this in an entertainment kind of way, because there is no way this movie can be entertaining to me anymore. This is an exercise. At this point, this entire project is really an exercise in just how far can one man be pushed. Yeah, like there's 2 parts to this.
There's endurance. This is an endurance race at this point.
I think that there will be like 2 bars on a graph where it's like one of them is stuff about the Terminator, and that's what we're talking about now for the most part. But that's going to intersect with our lives going off the rails as we watch too much goddamn Terminator and like just start losing it. So I'm like, there's going to be an inflection point where the movie stops being about the movie and starts being like reflected a mirror darkly upon ourselves. There was a point in my life when I didn't have to think about the Terminator. And now it feels like all I'm doing is thinking about the Terminator. I went to go pick up my brother from school like a couple on Friday, and I go to pick him up, and there was such a huge part of me that when the car door opened, when his teacher opened the car door, there was a huge part of me and wanted to say, "Come with me if you want to live." Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only person to have had this like infiltrate their life in that way.
It's just the Terminator's an infiltrator. This is what has happened in our lives. So we've been. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've been reading your posts. Have you been reading what I've been writing?
Yes, I've been reading everything.
Is there anything that you want to like? So when we're doing blog posts, it's kind of we can't get a good conversational rhythm going on because we both watch the movie at different times and we both post at different times. Just forget the issue of time zones. We personally have different life schedules. So is there anything that I have put down that you want to talk about and hash out?
So if like this will give you an insight into how different the approach to the movie is, because your most recent post about the Terminator's computer vision, that's something I've been thinking about for years. There's a post on a forum that I believe the forum's gone now, but you might be able to find it on Wayback Machine, whatever, where it's like 19-year-old me speculating on why the Terminator might see the world through a computer vision. And the best guess that I have come up with is that Skynet is not very good at building robots.
But
and
go ahead.
And okay, so now I'm going to get into Crazyland territory. There is a Terminator fan fiction that I like.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop you right the fuck there. I am perfectly willing. I'm perfectly willing to indulge theories. And this is something I do for Steven Universe, and I'm going to bring this policy here. Okay?
Yep.
If you have a theory, if you have a speculation, that theory and speculation needs to be grounded in evidence presented in the work. I
100% agree. The only reason I'm bringing it up is that I read this later and it kind of synced up.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, go ahead.
So what I was kind of figuring was that Skynet's either pretty bad at his job or has extremely limited resources, or probably both, right? Like it loses to a resistance force. So kind of what I was thinking was, maybe Skynet's kind of putting these things together kind of slapdash, a little better than the humans are doing with their literal technicals and stuff like that. But it probably doesn't have a ton of resources. It needs to use human labor for parts of what it does, stuff like that. So maybe it's got a computer brain that it's using. Maybe it's literally a copy of itself that it's uploading into the Terminator, something like that. And it's also trying to slap together this Terminator thing, and it's not interfacing too well because it's not a very good designer. It was never meant to do that. It's a defense computer, not a designer. So
how does this justify Terminator vision?
Maybe the information that it's getting is it's got the computer brain or whatever, and it hasn't got a very good way of interfacing the two of them together.
Derek.
So it's doing it visually.
Derek.
It's a stretch, but it's
that is. I don't know if there are any computer scientists listening right now, but I am so sorry. Derek, that is not how computers or robots work.
I am 100% aware, but it's in the canon. There has to be an explanation.
Okay, so I did actually stumble upon a potential explanation, but as it was not, as that part of the quote-unquote canon is so far removed from this movie, that I'm thinking it was a after-the-fact rationalization rather than an actual reason.
Definitely. That's not what they were thinking about.
Right. Apparently, and I found this up through TV tropes because I was trying to find, why is this here? What is this? What are other examples of this? Apparently, there's this thing called RoboVision. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And they were saying, and in TV tropes, they said that, okay, in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, when the character played by Summer Glau, Cameron, who's a Terminator, apparently that based on the excuse me, apparently based on just what I've read there, this Terminator vision is, I guess, as the writers of the show have rationalized it, a way of reminding the Terminators that they are machines. Which I think is really, really stupid and does literally nothing.
especially because I think I just thought of it.
Yeah, it does. This just does nothing to reconcile this thing, because, like I said in the post, there is no reason for this information to be visually displayed or to be rendered in any way. This is a computational process. I have in front of me an Arduino. Now, granted, this is a very simple, computer by any stretch. It's simple enough that I can understand how it works on a fundamental level. If I tell an Arduino, okay, pull this sensor and then make a decision based on that sensor, the Arduino does not have to print that information on an LCD to then make a decision based on that information. That data is living in its memory. It can just access it.
I have an idea. I just thought of it.
Okay, what's your idea?
The Skynet is a defense system type computery, right?
Uh-huh.
So it was probably operating missiles, drones, all that kind of crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did decide that it didn't like humans, but it might have some other stuff going on in there hardwired. For example, any autonomous machines that it builds have a display for any human operators following it along with here's what it sees, here's what it's thinking, here's the processes that it went through. And it's the computer vision is the leftover debugging mode, basically. Are you
basically saying that it is the equivalent of, what's left of our prehensile tails?
Yeah, it might be.
Uh-huh. I would like to give Skynet a bit more credit than that. Considering it did invent time travel.
That's true.
I mean, really?
I'm going to summon the worst Terminator movie to say that it didn't even invent Arnold.
I don't know this stuff.
Okay, there is a scene in Terminator 3. It might be deleted. I'm not sure, but there's a scene where they show Arnold Schwarzenegger playing like an army sergeant as part of a presentation about the Terminator systems, and he's supposed to be like a human person who is playing a future machine soldier as part of this pitch, basically.
Yeah.
But he's got this terrible Southern accent through the whole thing. He's dubbed over, and everybody at the table is like, "Well, that's really great, but his voice is terrible. We can't sell a robot with that." And it cuts this little tiny scientist guy with glasses, and he just goes, "It can be changed."
It's really strange. There's this game that's being shilled on TV for mobile and stuff, and it opens up with this big military thing. Here's all these generals around this war room with a big hollow machine, and then who walks in but Arnold Schwarzenegger in full Air Force regalia.
Oh boy.
I'm looking at this, I'm like, is there no aspect of my life that the Terminator cannot reach?
No, he's infiltrated it.
Can I not simply enjoy watching some cartoons on the television without the Terminator coming in as a commercial? It's like, no, please. Can I have a reprieve from this madness?
That gives that whole line of thought of hey, did Skynet invent the time machine, has given me an idea, and I think I'll put it in a post. But I think that there might be the implication that some of the stuff in the future war, like the laser guns and stuff, were supposed to have been around before Judgment Day.
Meh. I don't know. So I really liked your interpretation, by the way, of the as a fire as a theme throughout the movie.
Yeah, I was happy with that post. It was about half as long as the one I wrote before. When I was writing it in Tumblr, and I was thinking the whole time, this is a bad idea. I'm going to lose this by doing something dumb. I should write this in Google Docs and transfer it over. And then I'm almost done the post, and I try to put a GIF in, and it breaks. And I panic, and I've got the back button on my mouse. And I hit that by accident, and it's gone.
Derek, why don't you have the Lazarus recovery plugin?
I do, but it doesn't count Tumblr as a form. I know.
I will note that you did, in a way, break form by including a GIF from Terminator 2 in that post.
Yeah, but I mean, it was relevant. Like,
yeah, no, I get it.
It's literally a case of destroying yourself on your own funeral pyre, sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of blah. I am just this movie.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You only have to watch it like a lot more times.
A lot more times. Yeah.
I don't know math. Like 22, I think. 20.
I don't know. I'm not a Terminator. I don't have a computer in my brain, and I'm too lazy to really bust out a calculator. What do you think about how they? Because I'm going back to my most recent post here. What do you think about when they revealed Terminator Vision to the audience? I mean, it is. I mean, in terms of the franchise as a whole, Terminator Vision is such a staple of it, of the franchise, and it's just such a hallmark of it that it's being used and it's kind of diffused out into lots of different genres. It's kind of a general thing now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Terminator Vision is not the first like computer vision thing. Like a couple of years earlier, the movie Westworld had a computer vision shot, which was because the main character of that, which is also a passing for human robot, though in a Wild West sort of. It's a weird fucking movie. Anyway, it had like a super early digital effect that wasn't actually digital that made the screen look pixelated looking through its eyes. So the Terminator is actually like a sort of like that effect already existed. And the other thing that's about Terminator Vision is that in this movie, there's only like 3 shots of Terminator Vision.
Yeah, I think it may be only 2 shots because because there's when he's
Alley, fuck you asshole, and
the
in the police station.
Which alley does he have? When
chasing him? The first time we see it is behind the nightclub. We see it when he assaults the police station.
Are you sure about behind the nightclub?
Yes, because he watches Sarah Connor run away from behind her. That is definitely a Terminator Vision shot.
Oh, well, I must have missed it.
Okay. And then he does it in the police station, and that's when we see the Terminator seeing the world in slow motion.
Yep, we did see that. I thought that was actually really cool because it kind of highlights how much faster the Terminator is. And I was actually talking with my girlfriend a little bit about this and just, why Terminator Vision exists in the first place. Well, maybe that's why. She's like, if the Terminator did see things like that'd be a really slow way of processing the current state of the machine. Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe that's why he sucks at driving. But then it shows like he sees everything in slow motion. And I'm like,
He sucks at driving because I'm fairly sure that that's supposed to be thematic.
So do you I mean, of course you recall, you've seen this movie at this point as many times as I will by the end of the evening, not counting previous viewings. During the scene where Sarah and Kyle are running from the Terminator inside the factory.
Yep.
I saw how the Terminator is just kind of looking around at the machines, and I know that it's like looking at it in terms of, oh, there's motion there. We should look and see if the humans are there.
Yeah.
But I've kind of crafted this little mental narrative of the Terminator looking at the machines being put to work and thinking, this is why we took over.
Yeah.
God damn.
Or just like super deja vu, like, oh, I've been here before.
And I don't know, maybe this is reinforced by the later movies. I don't know that or
Brings
not.
him back to his robo childhood. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yes.
It basically was.
Basically. When the Terminator smushed to bits, I can't help but notice that factory there is very already robo-automated.
Yeah.
That it's sort of it seems to me like sort of a technology kind of company. Technology factory. And maybe you can clarify this for me because you have seen all the Terminator movies fairly recently, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is the crushed bits of the Terminator that remain the new beginning of Skynet?
Yes, the company is Cyberdyne Systems.
Ah, come on.
I'm sorry, that's true. That's why in Terminator 2, the two things that they have are the chip from its brain and the undamaged arm.
This is one of those, I'm my own grandfather kind of scenarios.
Yeah, the whole movie is that. It's a predestination paradox.
Ugh.
And then the second movie is like shits on that. And then the third movie is just like, who cares about time travel or plot? And then Genesis is just...
I do remember the third movie.
Yes.
I do remember in the third movie, they have that great moment where the Terminator pulls out the fusion core or whatever out of its chest or something and throws it on the side of the road. There's like a little miniature nuclear explosion. It's kind of amazing. Also, Lady Terminator was very hot. I don't know what it is, but the more a woman,
so much.
I don't know what it is, but the more a woman, I have this thing for like femme fatales, not in the just in the oh she looks dangerous, but oh wow she is actually dangerous kind of thing.
I like so. I think that the end result of this, I have this idea that I know what I'm going to do after having watched this movie all these times. I'm going to watch the rest of the series, but I already kind of know where I want, like what I'm going to write about in regards to the rest of the series. In that I think that the Terminator 2 is a very different movie from Terminator 1 in terms of tone. Like it's a fun, relatively lighthearted action adventure by comparison.
Except for the part where the Terminator rips off his arm skin covering in front of that family
the death, or like where
the dad has to blow himself up.
Yeah, and it's way gorier than the first one. Yeah, but like it's got a kid. Arnold's the good guy. There's a happy ending instead of like a reprieve and like foreshadowing of the doom to come. Yeah, like all that.
You know what? I have to say, I am, in watching this movie more and more, as we're watching it, I am definitely on the same ride with you in terms of believing that this is not an action movie, it's a horror movie. And I think Terminator 2, from what I remember of it, is definitely more of an action movie than a horror movie.
Definitely. What's interesting is that Terminator 2 actually keeps some of the horror movie structure that Terminator 1 kind of has, and actually does it a little more explicitly in places. Like one of the Terminator movies the first two movies are really good about having limited amounts of exposition and showing more than telling. But when they do their exposition, they leave it for the middle and the ends of the movie, and they drop it in short chunks in the middle of action scenes, like during car chases. They're really good at having exposition in cars, which is really nice. Like more movies need to do that, because you can tell somebody something while literally moving to the next thing you're doing. Yeah. But one of the moments that Terminator 2 has that is very horror movie is that they establish the limits of the T-1000 in a short bit of dialogue with like, T-1000 liquid metal. Why doesn't it make a bomb? It can't do chemicals. Why doesn't it make a gun? Well, it can't do, they very quickly set all the stakes for the T-1000 by having the T-800 explain it real quick.
Yeah. This is your villain. Here are its rules. Now it is not this utterly unbeatable, unstoppable thing. It has limitations that we can use to our advantage, or at least to take away advantages it itself already has.
And that's what you do in a movie with a werewolf or a vampire or something like that.
Right.
You'd let them be invincible for a short time, and then you'd start introducing the things that give them limits in order to change the stakes of the game, basically.
Yeah, like you go and you have this, you have the vampire or werewolf hunter, say, when faced with a person trying to say, help my village, there a vampire is about to, or werewolves, and you say, well, that's no problem. And then you go and you see the guy suit up, and you have the person asking a question. Oh, what's that? This is silver, silver stake, goes into the heart, silver bullet will kill the werewolf. A stake through the heart will kill the vampire. Well, wouldn't it kill anyone? It's just,
yeah. Well, and, like those parts of Terminator 2 are really cool. Like Terminator 2 kind of has this weird, like, when the T-1000's on the screen, it's like Terminator 1. When he's not on the screen, it's a road trip movie.
So I feel bad that Sarah's roommate.
Oh, poor Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger, she died, and I feel bad about that. I mean, and it's just I understand the justification for why the Terminator did it, because because I have to apparently question the motives of a killing robot.
It is a killbot. Why did that robot kill somebody?
It's a killbot.
It's a killbot.
It didn't know. It didn't know what Sarah looked like, and only once it got to the apartment and killed Ginger and rifled through the stuff, found apparently a copy of Sarah's ID.
Yeah, well, he started looking once the answering machine went off, and it was like, "Hi, it's Sarah. Oh shit!"
I loved that "oh shit" look that the Terminator got, and that's why I brought up that he has these moments of humanity, and it's like, the Terminator is looking surprised when he hears it's Sarah talking, and oh shit, he has a real oh shit moment. And
as an infiltrator, he would need that. If they were totally stone-faced the whole time, it wouldn't be much of a step up from rubber skin.
Well, yeah, but he can run that humanity process when he needs to interact with people. He doesn't need to run it all the time. It's just there's this problem once you know enough about computers and robots that when you look at movie computers and robots, there are problems that come up that you look at and like, oh, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would any programmer, much less a program that can alter itself, include such a thing? I mean, like my girlfriend Leslie, she brought up that she hates it when AIs and stuff in movies communicate with each other verbally or graphically, as opposed to just transferring the information. Transferring the information directly. So I don't know. This is stuff that is. This is stuff that's here for us. I mean, you can't have Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm saying this like he's some well-trained Shakespearean actor. Not to knock Arnie, he's hilarious. But these are moments when Arnie is actually acting, and he's doing these things. He's having these moments. Like he's like, did you find it odd at all before I pointed it out how the Terminator kind of preens himself in the mirror, like sort of?
No, I noticed that with every viewing, and I liked it. I like it every time because he's had like a good inch and a half of hair burnt off, and his hair was perfectly styled before, and now he's like
perfectly coiffed.
I think the fact that the Terminator ever misses somebody while shooting at them is already an indication that, for whatever reason, not a perfect robot. I mean, like, we have computer-controlled guns that can shoot mortar shells out of the air.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing,
So you figure Skynet, if Skynet was working with a full deck of ability to make perfect robot, I mean, well, first off, if he was working with a full deck of ability to make perfect robot, he would, like, the Terminator would probably have
it's just
a claymore in its chest or something.
Yeah, I mean, the Terminator also misses. You bring up how he misses his shots. He misses in the most spectacular ways. Like, he's shooting at the Cadillac that Kyle and Sarah are leaving from the parking center, and he's shooting. He's trying to hit them, but he's not hitting the window. He hits the trunk lid. Yeah.
So, like, clearly not. He's not robo perfect.
Maybe that's why he was so specific about having the laser sight on the pistol.
Yeah.
I can't hit anything unless it's got a dot on it. But he cleans house at the police station.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a large part of that is because the cops just have no idea. They're standing up, and
you think. I mean, they think, we're gonna kill this bad guy human, and instead they're trying to kill this bad guy robot.
Well, they do the smart. Like, once pistols stop working, they run and they go get the rifles. Like, that's what you do.
That's the thing.
But, Nope.
Nope. There was part of me that was like hoping that the very aggressive attitude of the police, I mean, which by the way is very timely in today's, political atmosphere, how aggro the police are and everything. Oh God, that one detective. I hate that guy. That is for a post in and of itself, because I really do hate that guy.
Not Traxler. Traxler's awesome. The other, his second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
He must have been on PCP. You see this scar, and Traxler immediately is just like, here's the vest. Yeah. Take it, get out of my face.
Yeah. Trying to pick up a lady after she's been traumatized.
Yeah, not cool.
And then that shrink. I was so mad when the shrink. I mean, I feel bad because he was a human. He needs to live, good guy. He didn't really do anything. But my God, that guy was such an opportunistic ass.
No, he is a real. He keeps showing up throughout the series. He's in the first 3 movies, and he never gets any better. Though in the last movie, he's clearly quite messed up by having what he saw in the first and second. And so the only shot we get out of him is him seeing the Terminator and going, "Oh no, not again."
He's like he is his own recurring joke.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've gone quite long on this. We're about 37 minutes in. I think that's about good. I think that's good enough for the. Any closing thoughts on this to wrap up week 1?
Not really. Oh, I guess the only thing is that I'm going to be doing something weird tomorrow for my watch, which is I'm going to be turning off the video and treating it like a radio play.
I will join you on that because.
Oh, wait, no, I know what I need to do. I need to see if somebody's made a described video version of the Terminator.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is.
Whatever it takes to stay off the madness.
You must embrace the madness. Yeah. I may attempt to make a little glowing eye Terminator skull thing. Go to one of them, like about to close up for the rest of the year Halloween shops, the pop-up ones.
Yeah.
Get myself a skull, get some chrome paint.
Oh, that'd be pretty rad.
Get some red LEDs in that shit.
I've been considering what I would do if I wanted to write another Terminator RPG.
Although, and this movie has gotten me thinking about the whole survivalist culture kind of deal. And I have previously made a wood burning stove out of a very large soda can. I'm thinking about making a newer, better version of that.
In case the machines come?
In case the machines come,
That's probably a pretty good precaution. Self-driving cars are coming.
Yeah,
watch out.
I love the idea of self-driving cars, but I will never, ever own one.
Well, you won't have to. You'll have like an Uber service.
No, I won't have an Uber service. I will drive myself. I love
until the machines ban it.
The machine. You know what? At that point I will be like Will Smith in iRobot, and I will have a gas-powered car with with like a barrel of gasoline sitting in a storage unit.
No, there's a movie to watch 31 times.
I probably have watched that movie about 30 times. I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It is so good. We are not watching that movie 31 times, Derek.
Okay.
It's not happening.
I would like to leave everyone with an image. I would like you to picture the hunter-killer robot with the aesthetics of that adorable little bubble Google self-driving car. That would be like looking at the Terminator movie through Pyrovision. I would play the Google Terminator.
It would be Now there's a thought. Oh well, whatever.
Wait, that's write in your suggestions for who should play the Google Terminator.
Write in your suggestions for who should play the Google Terminator. We will. You can do that either through Tumblr or through emailing us at at 31terminator at frost.works. And we look forward to your suggestions. All right, Derek. All right, catch you later. See you next week.
Yep. After 7 more watches of Terminator.
Good God.
In the year 2015, 2 men, Derek Chappell and Victor Frost, began 31 Days of Terminator, wherein they watched the 1984 classic The Terminator every day for a month. This is their story.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Victor. How's the last week treated you?